What's the good word, y'all? DKB here. So we have breaking news by Mike Garafolo. Derek Carr will be taking an official visit with the New York Jets, which is the first known one with our team. Um, that's been reported, and I couldn't be more excited. You guys know that Derek Carr has essentially been the guy that I've been fiending after to be our starting quarterback for 2023 and beyond. Out of the list of quarterbacks that we've had that wouldn't be named Lamar Jackson, and that's kind of a newfound love interest, if you will. And this could be a very, very important weekend for us. So for one, I would probably set the expectation that no matter how well it goes, unless both sides are absolutely blown away, we're not walking away with a quarterback contract done, completed, signed, sealed, in place. Derek Carr is essentially on a tour. He's visiting with all the teams that are interested. The only other one, confirmed one that we know about, was with the Saints prior to him being released by the Raiders, where he determined he'd rather work out his own contract for the future. And so, now it's on us. We need to come prepared with a very enticing, package of the positives we deliver to him if he wants to come to the New York market. We know, coming from his previous situation, some of the biggest red flags was that every year, every other year, it seemed like there's a new offensive coordinator, a new head coach that felt like they could have improved the position, gotten more out of the roster, and he constantly had to look over his shoulder. He's being second guessed, he's being questioned, and he goes out there and proves them wrong. He won't have to deal with that on our staff. He also has a connection in Todd Downing, who's our passing game coordinator, who's familiar with them from playing under him in 2013 to 2015. So we have that connection. Todd Downing can help fill a lot of the gaps. The other major red flag would be that he's had terrible defenses to be paired with him, which means he's been 100% relied on in order to achieve whatever kind of success the Raiders have been able to. And I recently talked about them actually doing fairly well in the AFC West, generally beating out the Broncos and the Chargers and placing just under the Chiefs while still being able to go out there and give them a lot of problems. So he's definitely been able to elevate the franchise quite a bit. Our selling points, and the main one that we need to hammer over and over and over and over and over again, is the defense that we can pair him with. I think out of the list of names that I've seen, and obviously the Saints are there, the Dolphins, I've seen the Titans as some others, to name a few. We should easily be able to offer the best defense that he'll be able to play alongside of and not have to do this all on his own. And we still have what feels like some easy upgrades that we can make to that roster to try to improve it even further at safety, at defensive tackle with our depth, and at linebacker, to name a few. And then, of course, offensively, it is a plug and play, ready, set, made offense for pretty much any quarterback in the league. We have Garrett Wilson, who looks like an elite number one with what he did behind four, quarterbacks with various levels of porous play. We have a running back in Brees Hall, who looks like he could have been the top tier guy in the NFL in just his rookie season. Michael Carter, who's very sneaky underrated, even though he's kind of had a step back in terms of his performance. And then we have, guys that seem impressive like Bam Knight. And, you take a look at the rest of the wide receiver room. Elijah Moore, he could have been a number one wide receiver in some circles based on what he did his rookie year. He's taken a step back due to a lot of turmoil, but he seems like he's primed to have an easy bounce back season. Denzel Mims is kind of the X factor card, where we feel like this may be the season he can break out under Nathaniel Hackett's tutelage, and he's been known to connect with players and be able to build a rapport very easy. He's known for being able to scheme his wide receivers open and put together some solid game plans. And then, of course, the tight end room, two vets, CJ Conklin. You have Jeremy Ruckert, who had a very strong game in the season last year. And the only thing left is really the wall we need to build in front of him, which there's a lot of work, but there's a lot of hope for what it could be as well. AVT, who a lot of people would have said would have been an all-pro, his work at all of those positions was fantastic. Max Mitchell played better than expected for a fourth-round pick that we thought was going to be a developmental prospect. He's getting healthy. We expect him to continue to improve and get stronger. And then, of course, we have Mekhi Becton, only concerns with him are from an injury standpoint. And so if he's healthy and in front of Derek Carr, you're solid. We don't have to spend draft picks, which is the best part for Derek Carr. And so we can go out there and continue to add a piece. We've seen, Osiris Torrance draft mock to us. We've had Peter Skoronski, who we just talked about. I've talked to some guys in the NFL circles that have mentioned Cody Mock as an underrated option. There's Paris Johnson. There's a litany of names, and we expect to, hit on the offensive line quite a few times during this draft. And so this is really the best situation he can find himself in. If he has success here, as I've mentioned before, New York will make him an absolute legend in his own right, and he can essentially do whatever he pleases if he can find success with us, and it'll start with making the playoffs. And I don't know if there's anything more than we can do rather than try to throw him a very gracious bag. But I think his next contract with whoever it is ends up being a little bit more team friendly than what we've seen prior to his Raiders release anyways. And we love our incentivization in our contract. So that is the big news for today. Derek Carr visiting the New York Jets officially this weekend. Hopefully we end up, at least compared to the Saints, ranking as his number one priority destination after this weekend goes. It'll be interesting to see what happens from here on out because with Aaron Rodgers, who everyone is saying is our preferred number one target, we thought his darkness retreat was going to be a couple weeks out. It's currently ongoing from what I understand. And so, him coming back and making his decision could play a huge role in how quickly we shift or if we just decide Derek Carr is our number one guy right now. But again, visiting with us this weekend, we wouldn't need to spend trade compensation. And I think we offer a surprising amount of, positive aspects to how we built our team that can help him last for quite a while in this New York market. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Derek Carr visiting, and I'll catch you guys again. Peace.